Hi, Vijay Mistry here. My dear friends, I am really excited to share this one particular video on how you can become a highly successful entrepreneur. In this video, I just want to share with you the 5 elements which I believe will take you to the next level. There are many others which I'll share with you as we move forward, but for now, I want to share with you these 5 golden nuggets which I believe will help you to progress and to add more traction to what you're doing. So the first and foremost is segregation. What do I really mean by segregation? Having that distinction between long term and short term. This is extremely important. And let me walk you through how you can really do this. But before walking you through into how you can really apply this in your business and how it will help you, let me just share with you this practical example. There was this entrepreneur in the security business. So he was installing alarm systems in offices and houses here in London, United Kingdom. But here's the thing. He was so grounded to his operations that he didn't see the bigger picture. And by segregation, what I'm talking about is to have that distinction between having that long-term macro level view and the short-term what you are doing. Why is this very important? Because when you start looking at the long term, you will start transforming and moving into a different mindset altogether. You will start seeing more opportunities. In this one particular case, this owner of the security business, he was just focusing on house alarms and a few offices. But when I had a session with him, I opened his eyes to a new reality of how he can really leverage his time by collaborating and focusing into commercial aspects of the bigger businesses and the companies which require alarm systems, because this in itself would give him higher leverage, a higher return, more profits, and he could scale up with ease, which was missing when he was looking from his standpoint. So here's what I would like you to do. Every 4 to 6 weeks, depending on what sort of business you have, what sector you are in, the size and complexity of your business, I would like you to step back and focus on whether you are really translating your vision into reality. You and I know that the world is moving at an exponential pace altogether, and that is a reality. And you need to make sure that whatever business model you have in place is tweaked towards that particular roadmap which you have chosen for yourself, and ensure that you meet your expectations. By having this distinction itself, it is going to completely open a new level of thinking altogether. It will broaden your mindset altogether, and you'll see beyond the territory of what is possible for you. So that's just a suggestion. Let's deep dive to the second value driver, which is TikTok. What do I really mean by TikTok? Now, time is the most valuable resource you and I have. It is very important to ensure that you use your time sparingly and you leverage your time accordingly. In one particular instant, I was a corporate coach for this manufacturing organization, and the CEO was using up his time having internal meetings with many of his staff, and he kept on having these internal meetings rather than focusing on outward looking opportunities which were there for his particular business. The reason is that he had such a good revenue generation model, but he was not targeting the right markets, and his team was not really having that traction to have that connectivity and figure out and focus on the ones where he could really maximize a return. And I'm not saying that internal meetings are not important. They are very important, but they should be relevant. They should be scheduled, and they must have that outcome which has a lot of value. That is the reason why we have this internal dialogue and collaboration. Another key issue with this particular owner was that he was not delegating properly. So he had senior managers, he had other people in other departments, but he was not really delegating to that level that he could. And that was a key detrimental factor to the growth of his particular organization. So I hope you see that your return on time is very important. Eliminate distractions, eliminate meetings which are not meaningful, and eliminate your time spent on irrelevant activities as much as you can, because that is going to drive a different level of construct for you and your organization. Let's move forward to the next point, which is core skills. Here's what I would like to suggest to you is that being a highly successful entrepreneur, there are certain skills that you must have. One of the skills is understanding the financials of your organization. But it's just not knowing about a profit and loss balance sheet or a cash flow. It's about picking up signals. So you need to strengthen your skills when it comes to picking signals. Same goes with IT. What is new in your industry? What are the new entrants up to? What is the new wave of technological mechanism that is disrupting your sector or your industry? Or you may be gaining an opportunity out of it. So it's very important to ensure that you have the right skills, be it risk, be it governance, be it strategy, be it financial, be it IT. You need to grasp the core elements of these particular skills. In order to evolve, you need to make sure you have these skills to become highly successful. That does not mean that you need to learn coding unless that is your business. But here's the thing, you need to at least grasp as to what is working for your organization and how can you capitalize on the opportunity that is out there at hand. So I hope you see this as a key ingredient to the growth of your organization. Moving forward, the next point, resource and systems. Look, I know this is very important. If you get this one right, resource and systems, I believe you will have a sustainable business model. Having the resource, having the right team members, having the right infrastructure in place is very important. If you have this in place from ground level, what is going to happen? You will be able to grow and scale up with ease. Now, why do I say resource? It's because I have noted many entrepreneurs struggle. In one particular service sector, they did have all the resources, but here's what was really missing. They did not have those right people doing the right jobs. And here's another problem they had, is that they did not have a proper feedback mechanism. What happened? A culture was built that it is just business as usual. That dynamism, that vibrancy, that started missing. So it's very important you make sure that you have proper resources in place and you have proper feedback mechanism. That's where the systems come in place. Make sure you have correct guidelines and disciplines that are maintained and instilled in your organization. It doesn't matter how big or small your organization is, it is very important to have this in place. If you have your systems in place and if you have your resources in place, you are already steps ahead of your competitor. And finally, I would like to share with you one final point here, and that is coach. Now, highly successful entrepreneurs always want to stretch their thinking. They always want to move to another level. They want to execute with discipline as well. And they want to be held accountable. In many instances, entrepreneurs, they fall back when it comes to certain disciplines. And some have this mindset of procrastinating, doing it tomorrow or later. And here's what I press upon. Consider having a business coach for you and your organization. That investment alone will take you to another level. I press upon you, consider this, because this investment is going to take you tenfold or 20-fold, if not more. And in my coaching experience, one thing I've realized is that if you're firm and if there are certain goals and if there is accountability, clear accountability in place, it is magical. It just takes you to another level altogether. And not any coach. You need to make sure you understand the background of that coach. Is he or she relevant in this particular marketplace? Are they assertive enough to make a change and make a difference in your particular business? So this is very powerful, very important. My dear friends, I hope you have enjoyed this presentation as much as I have enjoyed making this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video where I'll share with you more insights for you to scale up your organization and progress to excellence. Thank you very much. Bye for now.